Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour. Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour.
I'm so wasted!
No, it's still not that kind of wasted. No, this is not Enter Chasing the Dragon. Common misconception. How long do you think I can keep this up, Victor? Huh?
I don't know, man. It's great every time.
No, it's going to be more like we're just going to be a huge waste of your time, like a confirmation hearing. Instead of that useful, productive hour, it will be replaced with two ignorant, uninformed, ill-advised, self-deprecating morons ranting about opinions that they have no right to have, which are probably wrong, and absolutely do not matter. With that said, if for some god-awful reason you enjoy wasting the precious little time you have left on this earth, like you enjoy throwing away money betting against the Patriots, search for another wasted hour on all social media sites and share, follow, mention, like, and review us. So now that you know why you're here, I'm Keith, and across from me is my co-host, Victor. Victor, why the hell are you here this week?
I'm here because I've lost all semblance of control in my life, and I really don't know where to go in this direction, you know?
And I'm an alcoholic.
That's too close to home, man. Too close to home, all right? Well, I don't like to call it alcoholism. I like to call it excessive imbibery.
Drinking at home aloneism.
Dude.
What?
Dude.
I just speak truth.
Brutal. Okay. You're hurting my soul a little bit.
What makes you think that you are out of control and have lost all sensibilities?
The fact that I can't remember what I had for breakfast.
What did you have for breakfast?
Do you even listen to me?
I was setting you up.
Yeah, I feel like I'm incompetent. You're just awful.
Do you know what I had for breakfast?
Awful. No, I don't care.
Nothing. I never eat breakfast. You know why? I forget. I go, hey, I'm hungry for some reason.
I should have eaten today.
Yeah, exactly.
So why the hell are you here, Keith?
That is an excellent question. I am here because Happy Chinese New Year! Oh! In China, it is this year now. Isn't that great? That means for like a month, it wasn't this year.
Lunar calendar.
It was still last year, all of this time. In other words, if you're listening to us from China, hello, we're America. Welcome to the future.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
Wow.
They must be proud that they caught up. Can you imagine how weird it has to be for like pilots? Because if you're flying in January from America to China, you're like, yeah. So I left the U.S. February of 2017, and I arrived February of 2016. Like,
right. Do you have to adjust your watch as you cross the international date
for
line?
A whole year worth? You're winding the whole way.
Yeah, well, you've got like a 10-hour flight, so you'll be fine.
I mean, I get the date wrong, like the year wrong for like the first 2 weeks of the year. This would fuck me up for like months.
My New Year's resolution every year is to just write the correct year whenever I'm doing paperwork.
That's what I feel like whenever at work I get that email that says like, oh, you have to change your password, and I'm like, what that email should say is, congratulations, you're going to forget your password for 2 weeks. Because I'm just typing it wrong. Like, nope, thank God I get 3 strikes because that was one of them.
Make it guessed.
And they got those standards now with the passwords where they make it intentionally confusing. Like, you have to have a capital letter. You have to have this, that, whatever. And like,
a little symbol.
You make one, and then you're like, great, that was the most unforgettable thing I've ever
Yeah, you gotta like draw a duck. Like, it's just, when do you think it's gonna get to a point where you have to have emojis in your passwords?
Your little ghost.
Your password is now a dick pic.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like
nope. There's no freckle there. That's not him.
Right. Just like, it's gonna be like password with a 3 and an @ symbol and a poop at the end.
No, the poop won't be allowed. Everybody's gonna use it.
I thought that was the strawberry, the chocolate cone.
Swirl?
Yeah, chocolate swirl.
Don't eat that chocolate swirl.
Yeah, you're not going to want that in your mouth.
No, not at all. This is it.
So for those of you,
oh
my God, for those of you wondering,
yes,
the third voice in this room is completely your imagination.
There's no one here.
Wait. You're hearing this too, right, Keith? I'm not just imagining this.
What?
Wait, who are we talking about?
Breakfast? We're talking about
where's this other guy that we're talking about?
I like that the voice is asking about the voice. Hey, who's here? You guys are talking about someone.
So in studio today, we have a good friend of mine, Manny Ramos.
That would be me. Howdy,
In the red
cowpokes.
corner.
In the red corner, weighing. I'm not even going to start with weighing. 'Cause
Weighing a lot.
Weighing a lot.
Let's start
Weighing more
with-
than 0.8 pounds.
weighing more than he's supposed to.
No, well, that's most of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are an amateur boxer.
Yes.
And this was something I thought was really cool. We've had some artists in, we had a photographer, we had musicians. We've never had anyone who is essentially a sports figure, somebody who's doing sports and that's their passion.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me because nobody listens to me anywhere I go. So now all your people have to listen
So
to me.
Keith, what are you doing later, man? I just want to know about your weekend plans.
We actually, I think you're making an assumption, Manny, that people listen to the show. We just throw this show out into the void. And
I'm all about that.
it's the Hail Mary of entertainment where we're just hoping anyone will pay attention to us.
We literally discourage people from listening to it in the intro.
You offend everybody, so nobody goes more than a minute into the show.
Right. Exactly. right
But
there.
at least nobody feels left out.
It's like a challenge. Like, how long can I listen to these guys?
Right, it's like
ramble on.
It's like the cinnamon challenge, right?
Yeah.
Where you just how long can you put this in your mouth?
Yeah.
That's what we do. How
That
long?
is not the first time you've said that.
No.
I love challenges like that.
Like how long can you put our podcast in your ear?
It's like, how much melted butter can you drink? Let's do it.
Well, my
Let's
first
find
question
out.
is why melt it first?
Yeah.
I mean,
And why use your mouth?
saying.
There's plenty of other good places
we could
to
intravenous that
ingest
stuff.
butter.
Yeah.
So I was on a ski trip with some friends recently, and
You have friends?
no,
This is news to me.
imaginary. But
You're one of them.
I heard one of those imaginary friends. Yeah. I'm the one imaginary friend. Yeah. I'll speak for all the imaginary friends. He's not that great.
None of them exist.
whatever. But in the morning, like the morning after we got there, we arrived, we started drinking, we partied a little bit, went to bed pretty late, and in the morning we wake up. I'm gonna cook breakfast, and there is just a human bite out of the stick of butter that I was gonna use.
Yes.
Turns out that a friend of mine was so hungry. He's kind of a picky guy, so nothing that was in the fridge he wanted to eat. He's like, butter sounds good.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's like-
just took a chomp out of the stick of butter.
Sliced ham. Nah.
Yeah. I like
Toast,
that was the
meh.
bar. Like he was like, I don't know, that seems too spicy. I don't really like yams. Like, I'm just gonna eat a stick of butter.
I want bread and toast, but I don't really feel like toasting any bread. So
Yeah,
like,
It was a sizable chomp.
For the record, you cannot call someone that takes a bite out of a stick of butter picky. Like, that's not a picky person.
said he was like, yeah, immediately after. I was like, this is not a good choice.
Right.
wait, maybe he was prepping for something. He needed to lubricate the mouth so
Yeah, that could
something
be.
big can fit in there.
I'm guessing it was vomiting.
So,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, gotta lubricate that shit.
so let's get down to the truth. It was Victor.
It was Victor.
It was a rough night.
It was, it was, and every night after that,
And yeah,
that began a streak of butter eating. Have you ever seen the video?
Hey man, hold on, I'll be right
Yeah.
back. I gotta raid your kitchen.
Have you seen the video Butter Dance?
No.
Oh, look that up. It's like it's one of the Adele songs, and there's this artist, performance artist, who's wearing a really nice like shortcut dress and heels, and in front of her is like 20 pounds of butter all spread out on the stage, and she starts just dancing on it and just like sliding and falling everywhere. It's brilliant.
that's why the internet exists.
Exactly.
This is
I was like, oh, I figured it out now. That's why it's all culminated to
This is the future. Like, we're gonna leave
Yeah.
that in the time capsule for 2017. Butter dance.
That's what will happen when the aliens land, and they'll be like, we're gonna take over your world, and we'll be like, butter dance. And like, oh, I don't know what to do.
This is pure unadulterated culture. We cannot destroy this.
The aliens get here. Like, what do you guys do for fun? Well, check out this video. Butter dance.
So let me ask you a question, Manny. What does a amateur boxer do? What does that entail?
So there's amateur boxing and there's pro boxing.
Okay.
Pro means you get paid. It's professional.
Okay.
Amateur boxing, you don't get paid. You go fewer rounds. You actually only go a maximum of 3 rounds, and they're usually 2 or 3 minutes. Every year they change the rules a little bit, but it's either 3 or 4 rounds, and they're either 2 or 3 minutes long.
Gotcha. Okay. And so this isn't just happening like in chicken wire, like fencing or anything like that. Like you actually have rings, you've got judges, you've got everything.
There's doctors, there's judges.
Okay.
Yeah. There's people. USA Boxing is what runs the amateur program.
Oh, really?
In here,
Okay.
they're based out of Colorado. And when I talk about amateur boxing, like when you see Olympic boxing, like that's all in the same category there.
Seriously?
Yeah. So it's all.
See, I don't know much about boxing. I didn't even know there was amateur boxing in the area, I'll be honest. I'm sure a lot of our listeners didn't either.
I have a friend who's actually starting some kickboxing nonsense, and
That's different.
she got remarkably more intimidating overnight when she told me that. Huh? Wow.
How many kind of events are there like on a given year in the area? Like we're not hearing about it. So is it rare that these things are happening, or are we just not privy to it?
No, I mean I'm pretty sure. So as long as this area's been around, there's always been amateur boxing and professional boxing happening in Maryland, DC, and Virginia. It's actually not. It's actually one of the better places to train, even though it is a little quieter.
Yeah.
As far as people don't hear about it, but the 3 states close together, a lot of great boxers will come out of here, world champions and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Well, hopefully you'll stick around with us. We're going to do some ridiculous stuff for a while, but I'd like to come back and find out a little bit more about what amateur boxing entails and how to get involved in that, and how people can come out and see some of the events that you're doing. And I want to mention that for anybody who's listening, Manny's going to be a part of the DC Maryland Golden Glove Tournament. That's at Annandale Boys and Girls Club in Springfield, Virginia. That happens in like late March, early April.
Yeah, the promoter hasn't released the dates yet. They still have to do registration for everything. But anyone who's doing amateur boxing wants to be in that tournament knows that they're training right now for the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to put that up on our website as soon as you let us know what those dates are. And maybe we'll come out and we'll make Victor one of the ring girls. Like the round.
I've seen worse ring girls.
He just goes around round
I would
2.
rock that shit.
Yeah,
okay?
you would.
I'd probably write the number wrong. You know, it's
Hey, I mean,
backwards 5. Whatever. It's great.
TOO. Round 2. We're all sewing this round.
God damn it, Keith.
What?
I got to wind this one up.
He doesn't like puns.
Just push the button,
He's
Keith.
also a liar.
Just push the button.
So first off, we're doing our weather report. This is where we decide whether or not news that we found on the internet should or should not be.
We'll run it past you, Manny. You can decide.
I'm down with this. I'm a very fair judge, fair and firm.
Perfect.
So.
That's what we like to hear.
You're also a lying sack of crap. I know that for a fact.
Well, they can't all be truths.
So the first item up for bid, I have the New England Patriots won Super Bowl 51. Doesn't feel like news because it just keeps fucking happening over and over again.
It's like Groundhog's Day with sports, right?
Yeah, and deflated footballs.
And apparently they had like some device that was listening in on the huddles of the other team for a while.
Were they?
It's like, you guys are a really, really damn good team. Your football is pretty formidable.
Yeah.
Why do you need to cheat on top of it? Come on.
Just come out and be good. Here's the interesting thing that I found. All right, little tidbit, right? So this was Super Bowl 51, right? LI, right? This is also Tom Brady's 5th Super Bowl win. So I'm not a mathematician, but according to my calculations, that means Tom Brady has won nearly 10% of all Super Bowls ever. How ridiculous is that? 10% of them are Tom Brady's.
Wow.
Like,
that is ridiculous.
Is that ever going to happen again? I can't, I mean.
Next year, you know.
Well,
right, he'll just do it again.
When the NFL becomes filled with cyborg players, like maybe they'll build a great machine player hybrid that can do 6.
For the record, I'd watch the shit out of that league if there was cyborg football league.
Yeah.
Because we could get all of the like head hunting, like they're going to get hurt rules out of there. Because now just robots smashing into each other.
Yeah.
What was that video game? Remember there was a video game where like you made like football teams out of like robots or something, and then like the ball was like a bomb and you'd hit mines.
I never played that at all.
Are
But
you
that sounds
getting
awesome.
confused with the little robots they have like on Fox when they're like going to commercial break?
No,
Are you
this
sure?
was like
The little dancing guy.
Hey,
With
did your imagination run a little wild? Did you really like those robots?
For the record, if this game does not exist, it should exist.
We're all millionaires now. We just came up with something original.
It was back in like the Tecmo Bowl days, if I remember right. And it was like you had like little robots that were fast, you had bigger robots that were strong, but then like the ball would just go off every like 5 minutes, and whoever's holding it would die.
No big. Just he's dead. He
Yeah.
did. He did.
So is that news or not news, Manny?
I would say that the Super Bowl is news every year. Whoever wins it, it's news because the end of football season is a holiday, and America is football.
Is it a holiday? I think it's a day of depression for me.
For about half.
Yeah.
Well, you just sad how many chicken wings you ate?
What I call the end of football season is, I wasn't noticing because my team's been eliminated for a month. Day.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. It's the Super Bowl is me watching the Super Bowl and going, oh, look, hockey. Like, that's all I do.
No, I switched to the Puppy Bowl.
The Puppy Bowl.
Puppy Bowl is pretty
Did you know
great.
the Puppy Bowl is the biggest single event when it comes to fostering animals, like adopting animals?
Oh,
So yeah,
That's
puppies
really cool.
and
Creative.
cats. Yeah,
You know?
they go like, I want that one.
freaking adorable.
Do you think any of them's like, I want to get the one that got the touchdown?
I'll take the
I want the
golden
MVP. The MVP.
receiver.
Yeah.
Oh,
Golden.
Oh, look, pun. Victor's
Yeah.
favorite.
Look,
Killing me.
he's
Golden
so
receiver.
angry.
All right. Well, I got a piece of news for you. It's definitely news.
Yeah.
More than 500 family members in China gather for a photo.
What?
That is a lot of shagging.
Is that one family?
One family of 500
How?
members.
Is this like Genghis Khan or something?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that guy you mentioned earlier from some other place, I'm just going to pretend he was from China.
Okay.
He's got like 23 wives.
Oh,
Because
from a
that's the only way
previous
you can make
show.
like 500 of anything.
That was the guy from Pakistan who
Yeah.
kept
You said China, right?
yes.
I just can't fathom
yeah.
500 family members. Somebody had like 52 children, and then each of those kids had 52 children. And that's
yeah.
way more than 5. I don't care.
What does that house look like?
Oh wow. A lot of bunk beds. A
Lot-
lot of bunk beds.
Just hammocks everywhere.
Yeah, hammocks. I was thinking hammocks in every corner of every room.
They're just stacked on top of each
It's
other.
like a military barracks. You know?
It
Well, I
really
think
is.
like as they build the family, they're just building additions and making more family members at the same time. Like once the guys get old enough
Yeah.
to like get a hammer and a nail, like they're building additions
Right, you
for
know
their
that-
brothers and sisters.
You know that lawn is impeccable, right? Because somebody go
There's
mow the
always
lawn.
somebody to mow the lawn. Yeah.
My God, I don't even know.
Yes.
Think of the number of shoes those kids have made.
Dude.
What?
Dude.
I'm just saying.
That is a lot of shoes.
That's a lot of shoes.
Yeah, what's this guy do? Does he own his own factory?
His own shirt
Is it
factory.
Certainly run it. This picture is ridiculous. They're like some cavern, and it's just lines of people.
Oh my God. All right. Well, is that news or not, Manny?
I'm trying to figure out where the news is.
It's just
in
scary, I
there.
guess. It's just scary.
I don't know.
So not news,
It's
you
a
think?
it's a family photo. I mean, it's impressive.
Largest
It
family
is
gathering
impressive.
ever. All right.
Is
Not
it? Well,
news. Fine.
If you
Fine.
If you give it that tagline, semi-news. Yeah.
Well, I got another one that comes out of China.
Sweet.
A fire has broken out in the Chinese factory that makes the batteries for the Samsung Note 7. Now, I don't know how many warnings they needed, but there were news reports for like 3 months about how these things were catching fire. And they were like, just put them in a stack over there. It'll be fine.
Put them next to the gasoline.
What's the worst that could happen? Like, this is just one more of reason to not buy
Right.
a Samsung Note 7.
Well, they recalled them.
Like, if you want to live, just like,
No, they recalled them. It was only after like the third warning, like, hey, this shit explodes, that they completely banned them from airlines.
right.
It took a while.
Right. They were like, it's probably just that, guys. Boom. Okay, you know what? We should probably.
Boom.
Oh, okay. Everybody take them out of your pockets.
Effective immediately. No more goddamn sevens.
But I
on a
like that
plane.
they were like, you can't turn them on airplanes or can't bring them on airplanes. But then they
Didn't
were like,
matter.
we can put them all in the same building. Like, just stack them over there. It'll be fine.
That's the end of that building.
They're trying to get a government contract, showing how lethal they are.
Yeah, exactly. They've weaponized them. Hey, guys. Oh, Allah Akbar. Here, have one. Have one of
Mildly
these.
less devastating than a stack of TNT.
Yeah.
This entire warehouse full of exploding batteries.
Can you imagine just a terrorist coming in and just strapped to his vest is just Note 7s? And he's like, Allah!
He's got like a flip phone in his hand. I will call one of them, I swear.
Instant panic.
Right.
Instant panic.
It is a party fine. It'll all go off. You're hurting only yourselves.
So what do you think, Manny? News, not news?
I'd say news because the Note 7 was a news story to begin with.
It was, yeah.
People love people still messing up when they know that.
This is great. So I'm two for two at this point on news.
Yeah, but I'm prettier than you are.
Yeah, that's true. That's not news.
So this is a good one. Mystery, quote, quote, space capsule at side of Arizona Road identified as art project.
What?
Yes. The authorities were called and they come in. They're like, this NASA, is this a thing you did? Or like, nope.
Nope, that's not
Nope,
us.
that is made out of cardboard.
That is cardboard. Right.
Somebody broke a space capsule and repaired it with cardboard.
And
But
they-
yeah, it's just some art project
Sounds like NASA.
And
left
the
on the
girl
side
was-
of the road.
and the
Pretty
girl-
convincing.
And a girl was like, that's not art, and then just started dancing on butter.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, she's
I'll
got a
show
point.
you art.
Yeah.
I will make a stupid internet cat video, but I'll be the star.
What they didn't realize is it was a real space capsule, but it had gotten in an accident and somebody fixed it.
Somebody fixed it with cardboard.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
Yeah.
That
If
was
you
me.
don't get that joke, you should listen to our show more.
And by that we mean you should probably not listen to this show.
Please,
more.
anybody listen to the show.
I'm going to start just making everything out of cardboard and see if I can get authorities to stop and
There you go.
call NASA.
Like deer pop up on the side of the road. They don't even try and cross the road. It's just cardboard pop up, you know.
Ah, deer. Yeah.
Oops.
So what do
Oops.
you think? Do you think this is news or not news?
I'm gonna go ahead and throw Victor a bone here. This is a nice fluff piece.
Yeah.
Some nice in the news.
For
You
the
need those
record,
two.
you just said, I'm going to throw him a bone. This is a fluff piece. I just
You
want
hear that, bitches? I am fluffy. Oh yeah.
He got fluff.
Yeah, he
got
did.
fluff.
His bone got a fluffing.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's good. I'd like to see what that report looks like when the cops called it in. All right, so what I've got for you for your listening pleasure, apparently in Quebec, which is in Canada, funeral directors are trying to put an end to a fad of people taking selfies with corpses. People are going to the viewings and being like, YOLO. I mean, not you anymore, but me. Like you're like, yo, no. That's what you are.
Hashtag fam.
You already lived once.
Ex-fam.
Ex-fam.
Yeah.
Hashtag rest in pieces.
And first of all,
It's so ridiculous.
how did this happen?
To like set them up in ways. I mean, like, this is a corpse
Yeah.
standing behind me. It's
Is,
pretty.
is everybody like lining up to do it? Like come
Right.
on, like how much time
Next.
does it take to take a selfie? Like, come on, you get one retake and that's it. Like, keep it moving.
well, they
Selfie
got to put filters on and stuff
Yeah.
like that because that would be an awkward ass face swap. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm sad now.
How creepy is that, huh? What other Snapchat filters would you use on a dead person?
Well, with Snapchat, I like to draw on it. So maybe,
Just mustache. and-
yeah. So if the smile on the corpse wasn't that great, maybe I'd draw my own smile in, or add
They're
some
so
flowers.
happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I like the voice changer. I feel like that would work really well.
They're not gonna say anything. They're dead.
Shit.
It'd be weird if it said something like it's like hi, and you're like, oh my god, did you hear that? That corpse totally.
And it comes out,
just
hi!
So is taking selfies with corpses news?
I could kind of see it as like breaking news. The corpse selfie pandemic continues.
I mean,
Like,
this is better than what the knockout game, right? Remember that when
yeah,
that was
bad.
news?
Was that the one where they just walk up, punch somebody in the face,
Yeah.
and knock them the hell out?
Right. It's
very violent.
I would rather them be taking pictures with corpses than knocking people out in the.
I'd be real
the
excited for
face.
somebody to try the knockout game on you, Manny.
the knockout game? Yes.
Yeah.
You just, instinctually duck and boom.
Right.
Oh, that's a twist.
Right. Dip, cook. Not
I would just eat the first one. I was like, I'm not gonna get out of the
just
way.
stare at them.
I'd be like, I'd let them know that it didn't hurt that much. Like, if they want to try again, then I'm gonna participate also.
You get one free one. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, why not? Like, everybody knows, the court knows, and
Yeah.
when the cops come to take the report, like, yeah, he got a free one.
He got a free one. They're like, that was fair. That was really fair. of you."
Not guilty. Come.
Yeah. Nobody can actually make that. All right. So we got that last one for you, I think. All right.
This is definitely news. I'm calling it now. You're going to call this news.
Yeah.
Customs agents find nearly 4,000 pounds of marijuana disguised as limes.
Whoa.
Customs officers in Texas examining a shipment of key limes from Mexico discovered 4,000 pounds of marijuana disguised as citrus fruits.
That is it. They have little mustaches on them.
Right.
We are just limes.
we're limes, Holmes.
Were they still in brick shape?
Don't look any closer.
It just says like lime on the side.
It's a picture of just like they're way too bright green to be limes. Somebody blatantly just like painted a candy coating on this shit.
Oh, so they didn't like hollow out limes or anything like that. They just made like candy limes.
Yup, it is
full of marijuana.
bright as fuck. It's like that bad green paint that somebody chose for the living room, but you have to act like you like it because they worked really hard on it. That's
Right.
what they look like.
I like that they picked something that just is ridiculous because they didn't think it all the way through, right? Because when they get to the border and they're like, "Hey, what do you have?" and they're like, 10,000 limes. Like, that's gonna get attention, right? Like, well, why? Limes are awesome.
Don't ask questions. Don't ask me questions. That was a terrible, terrible Hispanic
This
accent.
is not the marijuana you're looking for. Wait, did you say marijuana?
This is shit.
I think that that's it's always weird stuff like that. They never just are like, these are bricks. Like, cause
What about like Cheech and Chong, where they literally made that whole bus out of weed?
right.
And then like as they're going through customs, it catches on fire.
And everyone gets high on them. That would be way better. Like, I'd like to imagine the next one's going to be just like children made out of it. They'll just look
Children
like,
made out
yeah,
of marijuana.
scarecrows. Like, and it'll be like, oh, these are my kids. And
Why
they're
are you shipping scarecrows? What's going on?
and well, they need to get somewhere.
So what do you think, Manny? News, not news?
Wait, let me get clarification. Customs agent like at an airport or like
On the border. On the border crossing.
Border's a hot topic. I'll call it news.
Oh yeah! You heard it. You heard it here, ladies
Nicely
and
done.
gentlemen.
Nicely done. So I've got one last one. This is pretty quick, so we'll jump through it real quick. Upon violating the terms of his parole, a Virginia man was mistakenly sentenced to 10 days in prison. Appeals courts overturned the judge's attempts to resentence the man to the 10 months that he was supposed to be sentenced. This is like the best legal version of no takesy backsies ever. Like you said, 10 days. Done.
Sorry.
Nope,
I'll do it.
Nope,
I'll do it.
Nope.
I
Can't go back now.
I already did the 10 days.
Right. Deal. Like, deal.
Zoidberg's out of the room.
Like if I was ever in that situation, I would just try to fuck with the like judge as he's saying it. Like, we sentence you to be, and I'd be like, 1 day, 2 days, one day, 1 hour, 1 hour, 2 days. And
We
like,
sentence you to... What was it? What did he say? Fuck, what was I thinking? 10
Time
days?
out.
10 days?
Is it 10? Is it 10? Yeah, I like to think that he just did it like one of those barkers at what is it, the when they're selling stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, and the guy just jumps up and is like, 10 years, you got 10 years, 5 years, 5 years, 2 years, we're gonna do 2 years, 10 months.
I sentence you to 10.
Sold 10 months.
I'm happy the guy kept his composure because you know if he was facing 10 years and he heard 10 days, I would have been like, ooh.
Yeah, right.
I'm very sorry for what I
And then,
did.
and then the second I get out of the courtroom, I'm like, hallelujah.
I like to think,
Hallelujah.
imagine what the court recording sounds like. It's like, and I sentence you to 10 days. Yeah! Woo! And the judge is like, wait, what did I say days?
You hit the hammer.
Nope,
The gavel went down.
I meant months. I was trying to do
Nope.
months.
No takesy backsies.
God,
No
laws.
takesy backsies.
Can I have my limes back, please?
This is court jargon here. No takesy backsies.
Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you.
I don't. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Law is hard.
So I saw this. It was an article about like if adult problems were handled as if we were in kindergarten, and one of them's like the only way to solve this. Dad fight, because my dad could totally beat up your dad.
Big fan of dad fights.
Yep, dad
All
fight.
right, so that is it. Do we have, would you say news or not news? May I make an argument? I'm going to call it news because it's a new way of defending yourself in the court of law.
Confuse the judge.
Yeah.
Put words in his mouth or her mouth.
Like I plead your insanity.
What was the original charge? Does it say it?
Weed. He was
Weed?
distributing weed.
Limes. It was the limes guy.
Yeah,
It was the limes
He's
guy.
making margaritas.
I enjoy talking about it, but I'm not going to say news.
What? Oh,
Marijuana readers?
I want
Oh, it was
for
almost
news. I think
perfect.
we need a harder drug in there. You
Oh,
know, like,
gotcha. If it,
you know what I mean?
if it had been heroin, maybe I would have
People are
gotten it.
desensitized to weed.
It's legal almost
Yeah.
everywhere.
Suck on that, Keith.
Yeah. All right. Fine. I almost had it. All right. Well, that takes us out of the weather report and into our old-timey report of This Week in History. This is where we get to flex our teacher muscles, of which I have none. I'm just all
Don't worry, I don't have any either.
I'm teacher fat. That's all I have. And
Teacher bod.
yeah, exactly. And
That
we're
means you could hold your pee for a really long time.
like a camel. I'm a camel teacher. And so this is what we do is we go through history and the things that happened in the last week or so. We're a little loose in the definition of that. But
Well, I think I got the oldest one. It's
Yeah.
in 1778, France recognizes the United States as its own nation. So I feel like they saw an opportunity, like, we can trade with these guys separate from England. Yeah, no, you guys are totally your own nation, and we'll show up at the end of the war and say we helped. It's like,
I like to think before 1778, France was like, Steve? Is it Steve? And they're like, no, America. We're America. And they're like,
at the very least, George.
Is it?
Or it was Ben Franklin who went over
Right.
as a liaison to
They're
France.
like,
I think.
hi, I'm Ben Franklin. It's like, do I know you?
Yeah.
Like, yes, I'm from America. America.
That's a
And
continent.
then in France, they're like, yeah, did you hear they beat up the British? Like, oh, shit, I should be nicer to them.
Gotta be
Right.
friends with these people.
Go send them a statue.
That came later.
Yeah.
Dude,
But they
every-
showed up, on the shores, like they're holding a gun to the British general, like, you guys are done. You gotta leave. And the French show up like, oh, we won, yes. That's not a French accent.
What that
Sacre
guy
bleu.
said? Sacre bleu. Yeah, so and then
Mon petit champignon.
and then in 1778 they were like, America, you're Ben Franklin, aren't you?
America.
That's when they
Ah.
signed the Treaty of Paris.
I recognize you.
Yep.
Well, in 1825, I have a particularly good one. So we just had an election, as you're aware of. A lot of people pretty upset about it, Victor being one of them.
I don't want to talk about it.
And what are they most upset about, Manny, do you think, in the election, besides the guy who won the election?
What are they? I mean, that's a big one. I mean, nobody really liked the election at all. Like, I don't think it mattered who won.
I don't want to
They're
vote
like,
for either of these people.
we didn't want to elect this year.
So
you know?
the thing I hear about most is that Clinton won the popular vote, so she should have won the presidency, right? And all Trump got was all of the electoral votes, and so the system is broken. We got to throw it all away, right? It
Blah, blah,
actually
blah.
is not the worst time this has happened. In 1825, Jackson wins the election but loses the presidency. Hear me out. Andrew Jackson defeated John Quincy Adams to 99 to 84 electoral votes, right, in the U.S. presidential election. However, since that was not the necessary majority, the election was turned over to the House of Representatives as per the 12th Amendment of the Constitution.
Yeah.
They...
We act like we know what the 12th Amendment says.
Yeah.
We're both like, clearly,
That's
yes.
the
Yes, I
alcohol
remember
one.
that clause.
Just read the 11th
Yeah.
before I got here.
That's the one where we get to drink again, right?
Yeah.
No, it isn't. And so they chose Adams to be president. Now, this didn't sit well with the Andrew Jackson supporters because Jackson won both the electoral college votes and the popular vote. He won all of the things.
Just not with enough majority
Exactly.
for the standard.
So how frustrating do you think they were? If you see how upset we are about it, like in this cycle.
How much more do I have to win?
Right. Exactly.
Here's $20. That's your consolation prize. You're fine.
Right.
Stop your crying.
DJ Khaled showed up and was like, nope. All you do is not win. I don't know how you do it. And so, that actually happened where somebody won both pieces of the election and then did not win the presidency.
He must have pissed somebody off over there.
Yeah,
man.
really? He just walked into
He just
the
had
house.
that one guy that just did not like him.
He walked into the house and was like, bitches, I won everything. What are you going to do? Huh? What's going to happen? And then they're like, we vote for the other guy. Fuck! fuck! I didn't know it was still up. Oh, you could do that?
Yeah, I had a dance prepared and everything.
They're like, son of a bitch, it's in the 12th Amendment. What's the 12th Amendment? Nobody knows that shit. Is that
Wait, raise your hand. The last person who read the 12th Amendment. Like,
Come
they
on.
all raise their hands. Like, fuck!
That's the one about the alcohol, right? Is that not?
This is
Andrew
bullshit.
Jackson, stop it.
Dude, take it easy. Go home, have a drink. It's like, I'm going to burn the building down. That's what's going to happen. Here's $20. You're fine.
Yeah.
He went home to his parents, was like, this isn't fair, Mom.
Right. Bullshit.
Mom, go over there and make them make me president.
Sorry, dude.
I earned it.
No take backsies.
No take backsies.
Do you think he called up England and was like,
Did they call that on him? They're like, sorry, Mr.
take
Jackson, no take backsies.
yeah, he called
We
up
did
England and was like, you were right. these fuckers are just, take it back. Take it all back.
Oh, my gosh. So, next in line, we've got in 1899, the
Yeah.
Spanish-American War comes to a conclusion,
Well, that's good.
which is where the United States jumped in and fought everyone,
Nice.
won themselves a bunch of
America.
territories, particularly Puerto Rico and Cuba fought for their independence. Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Sure.
Later. But basically, it was America had declared, I think it was the Monroe Doctrine, declared that nobody was allowed to come in to, colonize anything in the Americas from the old world. And then they proceeded to stick their dick in everyone's business, everywhere they could find. So they won all these territories and were like, yes, that's ours now. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. What Monroe Doctrine? What about self-determinism?
It's not our Monroe Doctrine. It's your Monroe Doctrine. It's
Right.
just you can't
Doesn't
do
apply
it.
to us. No.
Yeah. Just brown
good.
people.
I'm trying very hard to keep up right now. All this old history stuff, man. I'm like reaching back to my days in school. I'm like, oh, I gotta say something so I just don't look like an idiot.
You're
But-
like, I know what the Constitution is. I remember that
I
word.
could spell
wait,
Constitution.
the Spanish people fought the Americans?
Yeah.
Something or other,
The Alamo.
Spanish-American War.
Remember the Alamo?
Did they make a movie about it? I just go watch it real quick.
It was the one where that one ship blew up in the Cuban harbor or something. Oh, no, there were missiles in Cuba. That was it.
Missiles in Cuba.
There were missiles in Cuba.
That was not during the Spanish-American War. Just so you know. They didn't have-
Good.
Yes.
So I got another one. You're going to like this one, Keith.
Yeah. Okay.
In 1915, one of the first box office hits
Yes.
was made. It was called The Birth of a Nation.
Yeah.
Declared the single most offensive movie ever made.
Love it.
Ever made.
Have they not seen Encino Man?
Hey, wait a minute.
I'm just saying.
Don't hate.
What?
What? Why you got
What's
hate?
wrong with the
buddy?
whistle?
Anything with Pauly Shore in it, I think is worse than Birth of a Nation.
What's wrong, buddy?
You don't like
What's
Wheezing the
going
Juice?
on?
No.
You have quarrels against Wheezing the Juice?
Yes, absolutely.
No, but this movie was it covered many aspects of slavery, and of
Yeah.
course that was not a pretty event, which is why a whole bunch of school systems are trying to say we never did that in out west. They're like somewhere in, I want to say Nevada or Texas. They're like,
Yeah.
we're not going to teach that part of history because it doesn't make us look good.
Isn't that all? Didn't they have a bunch of KKK stuff in that movie
Yes,
as
yes,
well?
it was about the Klan as well. It was a whole bunch of nonsense in there.
Was there a lot of like black facing and stuff too?
I don't remember if there was.
Sure.
No, I don't think necessarily.
I'm just trying to think of offensive things and just fit in with that.
Just add it. For the record, Manny's black.
You don't know what blackfacing is?
I don't know
That's
what
when
blackfacing is.
white people like put on makeup to look black and then act like a black person.
Oh, I
In
thought
a
that
movie.
was going to the
Oh, in a
spa.
movie. I thought
Yeah,
you just-
like-
so they just walk around.
No, like this.
Yes, master.
In like the old times.
Yeah.
Like some performer, like a good singer would like
Yeah.
put
in
like,
blackface.
shoe polish on his face and
Yeah.
then be incredibly racist and like sing a tune and then everybody would be entertained.
You know why they do that, right?
What?
Because they know that white people aren't good at anything.
Yeah.
They want to be innately better.
Yeah, so
Black people are basically
They're
better
good
at
at
everything.
everything.
That's
Pisses me
blackfacing.
off.
Who's better at singing? Black people. Who's better at sports? Black people. They the only reason that we still have people in hockey is because they haven't found it yet. Like they're like, hockey, what's that? And they'll take over.
They rather
Don't worry
have,
about it. Don't worry about it. Shh,
Yeah.
shh,
They rather have Jordans than ice skates.
Right. They basically walked into the hockey ring and they're like, this is cold. I'm leaving. Like that's the only reason. Otherwise, it would be taken over because they're better at everything.
Wait till they discover hand warmers, then we're done.
Although the worst part of like the minstrel shows where they did blackface is that they would do all blackface, but they'd make a big white circle around their lips. So
To make the lips bigger, yes.
So like
Face palm.
they took it like they took an offensive thing and then just were like, I'm gonna really make this bad.
I'm not even gonna do it
horrible.
well.
Yeah.
So what's up next, Keith?
So next we have I don't know if everybody's been listening to the show. I hope so. I know Victor hasn't. He just shows up and tunes out. So this may sound familiar if you've listened to the show. So a nuclear bomb has been lost by the U.S. Air Force.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I kind of tuned out for a minute.
Yeah.
Apologies.
In 1858, when a B-47 bomber carrying the bomb collided midair with an F-86 fighter. Now, this sounds familiar, right? There's a missing nuclear bomb.
Yeah, you read this one last week.
Yep. No, this is a different one. This bomb was jettisoned near the coast of Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, so they got rid of this one. They're like, don't need this no more. Whoop.
Not to be confused with the one that's missing in North Carolina. Despite a massive search, the bomb was never found.
Wow.
That is stupid.
Nobody cared that much. Just like losing a sock in the laundry. They're like, yeah, whatever. I'll just buy some more socks. I'll make more nukes.
Okay, they jettisoned it, right? Because they didn't want it to explode. So because hitting another plane is far less devastating than hitting the ground a mile below.
I assume, or it was.
You didn't even look where you threw it? Come on.
I don't know if it was like that or if it's like, you know how you go through the windshield if you're not wearing a seatbelt? I imagine that the bomb just went through the windshield of the bomber and then just landed off the coast of Georgia and then no one found it.
Wow.
Well,
wow.
Someone found it, but they just didn't know what it was. They didn't tell anybody. Someone's having like a romantic dinner on top of it,
Right.
At the time.
It's really warm over here. What's going on?
Is this a nuclear bomb? Nah, it's cardboard. And so
Cardboard.
Don't ask questions.
Radioactive cardboard.
I like to think that, you know how many people got away with stuff after that, right? Like where the guy was like, where's your badge? Oh, I lost my badge. You know what? That's a demotion. Is it? Because you lost a nuclear bomb. How about you go just get me another badge?
I don't want to bring up old stuff, but
Right.
you misplaced weapon of mass destruction.
Right, exactly.
I don't mean
Like,
to point fingers, but come on, guy.
this
Come
is
on.
the 15th pen that you've picked up this week.
Cut me some slack, Charlie.
Keep you losing them. You know, like we do in the Air Force.
Right. Like, you're not in full uniform. You're like, well, fuck off, because I'm going to tell.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell somebody that you lost that thing.
So speaking of losing things, the Air Force lost a bomb. Technically, NASA lost some golf balls. Yep.
Okay. What?
So in 1971, Alan Shepard actually hit some golf balls on the moon as part of the Apollo 14 mission.
Yeah, take that, Tiger Woods. That shit soared.
Yeah.
No wind, no air
Nice.
resistance, and
Yeah.
like 1/6 of the gravity. That shit. They didn't. No wonder they didn't find that.
Right. You hope they have a cart because
You
they're
could
going to
probably
go after that.
Yeah, you could probably reach escape velocity on that shit.
And so, but the thing is, you're not allowed, like, those modules are very small. Every piece of weight was a big deal. So he had to actually smuggle that golf, like the golf club on. Instead of actually bringing a whole golf club, what he did is he connected the head of a 6-iron to the shaft of a piece of rock collecting equipment, and he covered it with a sock so it wouldn't be discovered. Because if they'd seen it, they'd be like, get that shit out of here.
But I want it. But I
The thing that I like to think of is that...
and he had to bring golf balls too, right?
Right, that's the thing I'm
Those were
wondering.
in his pockets.
He just treated it as a vacation. He's like, they're gonna send me to space. I'll just shoot a little golf and check my emails.
How did that happen though? You know, like they didn't notice the golf club, but they were like, what's in your pockets? And he's like,
I'm just happy to see you.
limes.
Dude, I hope they were color golf balls, or else you would never find that on the moon.
No, not at all. Yeah. So here's the thing. He actually he and fellow moonwalker Ed Mitchell were convinced that the first ball landed in a nearby crater called Javelin Crater. Any idea why it's called Javelin Crater?
No.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's because
You looked at me and was like, I can't help you there.
it's because Ed Mitchell, the guy who agreed with Shepard that it fell into there, that's where it ended up, hurled a solar wind collecting staff Olympian style into that same crater. He javelined it into the crater and went, that is now Javelin Crater.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't know there was a park on the moon. These people just doing all kinds of recreational sports and.
Well, apparently, the first thing you do in a crater, you get to name it. So I'm gonna go piss in one.
Yeah, piss crater.
But yes,
This is the piss crater. This is the piss crater.
Do you think like Shepard like hit the ball and it went in the crater and it was like totally hole in one? You're like, that's cheating.
Yeah.
That hole is the size of a
Mile
lake.
wide.
Jesus Christ. You suck at golf.
Like, well, I didn't see you hit one in.
How good of a hit could that be if the ball with a golf club made it into the crater and a guy could just throw a javelin into that same crater? Like, you would think like, come on, hit the ball further. You could totally do better.
Probably
than
hit
that.
it like straight. It's a pitching wedge. He accidentally brought. I didn't bring in a 9-9.
Like challenge yourself, you know?
And if you think about it, because it's a big hole where you just throw trash, they basically invented the first interstellar landfill at the same time. Like,
Don't need this no mo.
yeah,
Woo!
here, have the trash. This is trash crater now.
Oh my.
So all we're going to do is just man space missions to dump our trash in craters.
Yeah, that's our plan.
It's better than throwing in the Pacific Ocean.
Push it out. We're jettisoning it into the crater.
No my.
Right.
Space.
So you've got another
The big trash
spacey thing.
can.
I do have one last one. This is a one that happened pretty recently in 2007. You may have heard of this, right? NASA astronaut Lisa Nowak is arrested for attempting kidnapping while after driving from Houston to Orlando and confronting another female astronaut who was dating her ex-boyfriend. Here's the interesting thing.
Guy's got a type.
Yeah, he does have a type. You know what I like? People who aren't here for a while. Do you think it was that he dated them before they were astronauts and he was like, you could lose some weight? And they were like, oh,
I'll go into space. Perfect.
oh, that's not what I meant.
How much do you like me now? I'm at 0.
Zero.
But I do remember that story.
Yeah.
What does she do?
So imagine in your head, just close your eyes for a second. And this,
Not going to do that.
It's not safe to close your eyes here.
Yeah. These are the supplies that she had with her: adult diapers, a black wig, rubber tubing, gloves, a BB pistol, and plastic bags. What kind of shit was going down?
I don't know. She's building like I can't even. She's redoing the Henry Ford speed record. That's it.
That's right.
It's some kind of like baby shower, like.
She was going to make an art installation on the side of the road.
No,
There
but
we
she
go.
had the diapers. She had the diapers because she drove nonstop.
Yeah.
And she was pooping and pissing herself the
Like-
whole time.
That's like
You
a
couldn't
new...
take 2 minutes to shit once a day.
She was just letting the rage build.
Well, let's be
build
real.
up.
It takes about 10 minutes, but whatever. Rage shit. But hey, if you don't eat, then you don't poop. So plan ahead, lady.
I was disappointed when I heard that list because I was hoping she would have some of those like things that NASA made, you know, like the sleep comfort bed and things like that. Like they made enriched baby food, portable cordless vacuums, freeze-dried ice cream, and powdered lubricants.
Scorned women as well.
That could have been useful.
Yeah, a
All
lot
of
of that stuff, yeah.
Why didn't she pick that up? She worked there. So anyhow, that is This Week in History.
Oh, joy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We did good. I think
Feel
we did
so
well.
much smarter.
Do you?
I'm gonna go tell all these items one by one to like the next people I talk to. So I sound like I know stuff about history.
And then the show comes out and they're like, oh. I see what you did there.
Hopefully you don't mix them up, right? You're not like...
they're totally getting mixed
Like-
up.
In 1975,
Mr.
Andrew
Jackson. Yeah, Mr. Jackson.
Andrew Jackson was in a movie
That's a-
called Birth of a Nation.
Going for a
Blackfacing.
fist bump right here. You leave me. Yeah. Don't leave me hanging, Manny.
Let's do it again. So they canceled the other
Boom.
one. That was a better one.
France recognized the Spanish-American War after a crazy golf game.
Then they lost
They
the
earned their
bomb.
respect in golf. That's how we did
There was
it.
a lady who drove from Houston to Orlando in a Golf. No, that wasn't it. So we talked a little bit earlier about you doing your amateur boxing.
Yep.
Here's the most important question. I want to get into some of the background and the things that go into being a boxer.
Yeah.
But first things first, when you're in a fight, how badly do you really just want to kick that dude?
Like, how badly do I want to kick
Yeah.
him? I don't want to kick him at all.
No?
Nah.
Because I get punched once, I'd be like, fuck it, I'm going to kick you in the face.
Ankle, go for the ankle, crush.
I think I'd rather like pull some hair, like bite somebody before I start kicking. You know what I mean?
Go Tyson on him.
legs.
It's too soon
I take
for
good
that.
care of them. You know, I nair, I moisturize. I don't want to ruin my legs.
You'd rather just be like, give me your ear.
No, I mean, to me, my most favorite part, like all combat sports are the same. The jujitsu, karate, all that stuff. They all train the same for all those sports. But my favorite part of any fight is when people stand up and they trade punches together. You know? Like that's my favorite. So that's why I get into amateur boxing. So preferably, I just want to keep hitting people with my fist.
What is it about that just mano a mano and just punching, like just being able to exchange blows like that? What is it that really excites you about that versus all of those other types?
I don't know. Also, the thing that really got me into boxing was boxing has a rich history. You know, a lot of great stories in boxing.
I'm Puerto Rican, man. I know exactly what you're talking
A lot
about.
of great Puerto Rican fighters.
I grew up watching.
Victor's not one of them.
None of them. He's none of them.
I've never even been in a fight.
Well, we can fix that.
All right, let's
We're
do
gonna
it.
get some ratings.
Amateur.
Well, I mean, this is audio only, so if we fight, it's really just going to sound like
For the record, can
and
we
me
just
hitting the floor.
They could hear the bones breaking if I hit you.
Don't
just
break my
one-
bones, man. That's all I got.
all I'm asking, Victor, would you take one punch from Manny?
In the gut.
Just one punch.
No faces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can hit me anywhere as long as it's here, right on the shoulder. All right,
That's fine.
Like, you can punch me as long as it's on the knee.
Would you take a punch? Would you punch him in the shoulder for us?
No, I don't want to hurt Victor like that.
I appreciate
He's
that.
nice. He invited me over here to tell jokes with you guys, and then I can
He wants
talk
it.
about stuff that I love, like boxing.
Yeah. No, he wants.
We'll post that video. Thanks, Keith.
He totally
we'll
wants
post
it.
that video later of me getting socked.
He keeps coming back. I just fell down the stairs.
Well, I have lost control of my life.
That's
so.
true. You did admit that.
So I have a question for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
What is something you love about boxing that, or maybe a challenge that people wouldn't see coming? Like, what is something behind the scenes that's either really difficult or something you really love that nobody really thinks about because they don't know much about boxing?
Nobody really think that people really don't underestimate about boxing, about what it like kind of takes to be.
Yeah.
something like that.
Well, like when you're training for a competition, you know, it's literally on your mind all day. Like
Really?
you go to sleep early the night before because you need your rest, and every meal that you eat, you kind of plan ahead because you want to eat the right things, and then you got to get to your workout and you got equipment, and
Yeah.
so it's literally on your mind all day, every day while you're training.
Wow.
And people, you know, people don't take that for granted. They don't really understand.
How do you get started in something like this? Do you like
So this isn't a hobby, is what you're saying. This isn't
Yeah.
just a pastime. This is a lifestyle, essentially.
For me, yes. But the best part about boxing is it's easy to enjoy at any level. Like if you just want to be the kind of guy who shows up to the gym every now and again and skips a little rope and
Sure.
whatever and gets a nice little sweat, then that's cool too. If you want to take some classes and learn some stuff, build some self-confidence, that's cool too. Getting into competition,
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
cool. So any level that you want to get into boxing, it's like you can't miss. It's very easy to get into, very hard to master.
Yeah.
And it's a challenge the whole time you're doing it.
Do you work your way up to it? Do you start off like shadow boxing and then like you punch children and then like how do you get to the point?
Slightly larger children.
Yeah, like, you're a little older. Come here. Like, what does that look like? How did you know, hey, I want to box? And then what was that step that you took to become a boxer?
Well, I mean, I think the first step to making any boxers has got to be desire there. You know, desire
Sure,
for
yeah.
something. Maybe you want
Like a
confidence. Maybe you want the body of a boxer.
Yeah.
Maybe you just want the recognition that people know that you can fight.
Right.
You know, so
If you want the body of a boxer, you can do that just with a knife. And you bring it home, put it into your basement, and then you have a body of the boxer.
Right. You have to drag it the whole way home.
Yeah, it
but-
does
Jeez.
start to smell a little, but I've got the body of a boxer and a swimmer, and they're just on top of each other.
Hopefully you have a cat to get rid of it.
Exactly, it'll eat it.
Cats will eat you if you die.
It's true.
It's a thing.
Yeah. So the first thing is like, were you watching boxing and being like, wow, I want to be a part of that? Or how did it
yeah,
first get
probably
in your
like
head?
that. I mean, are we talking for most people? Or are we talking me specifically?
You, how did you do it?
Well, one of the big motivations is like I was like I don't know 11 or 10 years old when Mike Tyson was big.
Oh, yeah.
and like that transcended boxing. Like
Oh,
he
absolutely.
was pop culture news. Like Tyson was everywhere. Everybody knew who Tyson
Yeah,
was.
Tyson with pretty serious.
The thing is he like ruined pay-per-view though, because you'd go get a pay-per-view fight and it'd be like 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, it would be like ding, 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 boom, ding, ding, ding.
Honey, can you grab me a beer? Sure thing. Oh, fight's over.
Yeah.
I was out of the room for 8 seconds.
Yeah, we like had nothing like that before in the history of
Yeah.
boxing. I think like things always lasted for rounds.
Yeah.
and these things were like, wow, it made it past 30 seconds. He must be tired.
I mean, professional fights used to be 15 rounds. Now they're
15
just
rounds,
12,
which
right?
is 15 rounds is like around an hour and a half of fighting.
Wow,
Right.
Like very close to that.
I would run about 2 minutes into that.
Or like about an hour.
I'd be like, this isn't working. I'm going.
I mean, if
I'm
you
running away.
if you ever sat through a whole match watching, at least on pay-per-view, by like the 9th round, those guys are fucking tired. And they
Yeah.
have trained like crazy for this. And by
yeah.
the, going 12 rounds,
They're world-class athletes.
you might just
Yeah.
collapse. Going 15 rounds, that's like I think-
Death.
They literally don't do it anymore because people were dying
That was-
and like getting serious like brain damage and stuff.
Muhammad
like,
Ali,
Yeah.
he would go 15 rounds.
That's where the word sudden death came from. You win by
There
sudden
you
death.
go.
One of the last popular fighters to be in the before they took out 15 rounds was like Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah.
And everybody Hagler and Hearns and stuff. Those guys went 15 rounds and then they changed it to the 12 when they were popular.
So what did you do when you decided you wanted to get in? You joined a gym, I guess, and started
Yeah,
training?
So this was 10 years ago. I started boxing when I was 19. I'm now 29.
Right.
And I was a big kid in high school. I was athletic. I played sports, but I wasn't good enough to be on any of the teams. And it was a year after high school, and I was gaining the weight, and I just had a job, and I was like, man, I want to do something cool. Like I really had in my mind, like I don't want to be a fat person anymore. Like, and I always thought boxing was cool, and I was always kind of like the run of the litter. So I was like, I'm gonna do boxing. Like I'm gonna see if I'm tough or whatever.
Yeah.
So I found a gym, and I went over there and just talked to the guy, told him I want to be a fighter, and then at this specific gym, they had programs,
Yeah.
You come in for classes, and the
Okay.
classes is really where you learn. If you show up to classes 3 times a week,
And that's like technique
you
and
get
like
it.
skills.
It's
and
technique
stuff?
and conditioning at the same time, which you
Gotcha.
can't really learn boxing like just boxing. Like it's
Sure.
conditioning and boxing at the same time.
Understood. Okay. Very cool. And when did you know you wanted to make that leap into the actual amateur competitions?
Well, me, day one, when I talked to the people who own the gym, they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what do you want to do in boxing?" I was like, I want to fight. And the funny thing about that is that's pretty much what everybody says when they walk into
Right.
a boxing gym. Like, I want to be champion of the world.
Right.
And the guy-
Nobody's like, I want to punch a squirrel. And they're like, you're ready. You're ready,
You're ready.
champ. Go for
and
it.
the guy signing you up is like, yeah, give me your hundreds of dollars
Yeah.
and sign up here and you'll be world champion. And
Yeah.
then you show up for a week and you forfeit all your money and then that's it. That's boxing.
Then you're miserable. At the very least, you get to punch somebody in the face.
So
Yeah.
speaking of world champion, tell us a little bit about this DC Maryland Golden Glove tournament that's happening at Annandale's Boys and Girls Club in Springfield, Virginia. You said it's in late March or early April, somewhere in there.
The tournament, there's 2 tournaments going on at the same time.
Okay.
There's a DC Maryland Golden Gloves, which is held actually a little closer to where we live right here in Loudoun County, Northern Virginia. And then
Okay.
there's the Virginia, North Carolina, which this
Oh.
year they're going to do in Springfield.
Really?
There's
Oh,
2
okay.
tournaments. And the reason I have the 2 tournaments is because when you win those tournaments, there's 2 divisions, but the winners of those tournaments, you could be champion and then you fight the other champions.
Oh, seriously?
The Golden Glove tournament in America is one of the biggest amateur tournaments that there is. All
Yeah.
the people that fight in the Olympics go through the Golden Glove tournament first.
Yeah, I've heard that before. There was who was the really famous Olympic boxer? Because he was a big Golden Glove winner. Just in the last 10 years, I want to say 10 years ago or so.
Andre Ward.
That's not the one I was thinking of. But yeah, I keep hearing in the Olympics that particular.
It
term.
was Michael Phelps.
That's Michael Phelps. That's who it was.
Oh, I
Yes.
was completely wrong sport.
Sorry, Usain Bolt.
Yeah. Duck gloves.
Only 2 people in the Olympics I ever remember their
Those
names.
are the
of.
only names you know out of everyone that could possibly be in the Olympics. It's worldwide, brother. It's worldwide.
Little off topic, but I love the floor exercises in the Olympics where the girl has the ribbon and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it makes me always think about Will Ferrell.
Yes.
An old school. It's a great scene. Yeah.
Is that going to be when you retire from boxing? You're going into that?
Yes.
Yeah.
When I stop
routine.
boxing, I'm gonna floor routine and then also eat a lot of chicken wings and drink a lot of beer.
Right. I was thinking like I would love to be in boxer shape as I eat potato chips. You know.
A lot
Yeah.
of discipline to be a boxer. So this year I'm training to be in the super heavyweight division, which is 201 pounds
Wow.
plus.
Ooh.
It's anybody. If you weigh over 201 pounds, doesn't matter about how much. That's your category.
Wow, that's crazy.
201.
We're
201
running out of
plus.
time. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, Manny. We really appreciate it. Let us know when you find out the dates. We'll have to come see a fight.
Yeah, I got plenty of stuff to
Yeah.
share with you guys. And
Yeah,
plenty
definitely.
to promote.
Other upcoming things, Apartment 204. We were hoping to have them in tonight. Their new EP drops February 13th. Capital Laughs at Beer Baron Tavern February 14th. Vim and Vigor are playing Jam and Java in Vienna March 4th. Thanks to Norman Davis for sharing, retweeting, or mentioning the show. The rest of you, step your game up. Like, follow us, share us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Next week, award-winning DC area singer-songwriter Flo Anito. If you enjoyed the show, email us at contact@anotherwastedhour. If we offended you, send complaints to China because they don't even know what year it is. Thanks to the ghost of engineer Adam Past, Kevin Evinger, McNally 22, Justin Rogers, Figmental Records, and Alchemical Records for their contributions. Thanks to Victor for getting punched by Manny.
Yeah.
And most of all, thanks to Manny Ramos for wasting a perfectly good hour with us. This has been another wasted hour. And if you just realized that, don't blame us. We warned you.